Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about you don't have trust issues. You just will not be manipulated easy. You do not have trust issues, you know what I mean? The thing with trust issues, what a lot of people like to discuss and throw around and talk about, is first you have to understand like what playbook beings are using. There's only two playbooks out here. You got the natural flow, the creator, God, the most high, however you flow, we over here on this side. Then you got the witchy shit all over here on this side right here, you know, the gaslighting, the manipulating, the trickstery, all that other weird witchy stuff that goes into the mix, right? So with us being beings who other people like to look at and say, okay, well, you guys don't trust well or easy or much, and or you got to work to gain more trust and blah 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 and all this other stuff. For one, you have to work to gain anything of some value and substance, you know what I mean? So if you're gonna cook a home cooked meal, it's not gonna feel good unless you put the energy and time and soul and effort and everything else into it, you know what I mean? So that comes along with anything. But what kind of brought me to this we don't trust type shit, you know what I mean, is for one, we in the Western society where the system is completely demonic, and all of their little beings and followers are gonna be extremely demonic. That's just what makes sense. Why would somebody who is on, you know, following the most high, why would they be following these demons when the demons are on a lower vibration and frequency than us, you know what I mean? That wouldn't make sense. So what would make sense to me is when I process this whole trust issue thing, and I realize how it's like it really has to do with your invisible boundaries and sensories and everything that helps keep you alert and in tune to what's going on and before something happens to you. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like how people put the invisible fences around their houses for their dogs. You know what I mean? So with you putting that invisible fence around your space, you already understanding that some people are gonna want to just keep on walking all up in your space because they don't see the physical fence. You know what I mean? And I realized for a lot of us too, when you grow up in these demonic households, like me, my mom, I was emotionally neglected, and it don't matter if you get to a better place to where you're transitioning, you're feeding them information, like you're presenting opportunities, or for y'all to grow and build your relationship, to mend it, to mold it, whatever happened. Most of these elders will not. Most of the elders will not. Most of the elders that's in the space that my mom is, we just have to put them in the dumpster, in the trash, you know, because these are the ones that did a shitty job being there for us, but they did an excellent job at showing us what the fuck we don't want to do and what we're not gonna be like. They did a great job at that, you know. So as much as we can beat them down for being such a shitty ancestor and parent to us, you know what I'm saying, we have to big them up because y'all did such a shitty job around us that we knew everything we didn't want to be or do, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, step on a crack, you break your mom's back, and I see all my friends jumping over the cracks. I'm the one that's walking through, specifically jumping on all the cracks, seeing how much of it I can actually break. Like, and then once we leave our households, you know, because I just talk about all moms, once I moved down here, 10 sperm donor was not null and void, you know what I'm saying? So anything with talking to grown-ups or older people, for most men, you know, that's in my kind of space or lower, usually don't have that. And then the ones that's up in a higher space usually have that, but a lot of times even the elders that they can get the information from isn't really good, accurate information. You know, it's just good energy that they can go vibe with, and it's not a harmful space to be in, you know what I mean? That's a difference. But understanding, like, we don't have trust issues. We just refuse to be manipulated on the lowest frequency and on the easiest level, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta actually work to come put some work in to destroy us and to do these things, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it like they won't work, because that's what they do. And I realized, like, this will probably be a little bit off subject for a split second, But I realized, like, once you start working on certain things where you feel like maybe a weak link, the opposition is gonna figure out another avenue because it sees that you're working to mold and to build whatever was the weak part to make it stronger. So for an example, I finally got my night routine organized. You know, it took me about a year, 6 months. You know, it took me a little bit to get the routine because I was brushing, knocking stuff off to get my night routine down. I got my night routine down, and I've been had an AM routine. But because the opposition knew I was working at the night routine, it spent more time trying to get me in another area. So then I realized, okay, I perfected this area right here. Now it's hitting me in the AM. You know what I'm saying? So because it was less energy focused there, because I've already had a routine there, but I was focusing my energy at the nighttime. So once that got great, now I can go to bed and find it great, but now once I leave my body at nighttime and I come back to my body, that's when they feel they can just kind of drop everything on me all at once. You know what I mean? I know that was really off subject, right? But that was just something that was just sitting on my spirit for some reason. And I kind of wanted to mold all of that together because I know, like, that is what I was explaining just now is on a bigger level, a bigger scale with the oppositions. You know what I mean? And what we're talking about right now as far as the trusting is more on a little bit of a lower level. You know what I mean? Because what I was discussing before wasn't dealing with the actual 3D physical vessel. What we're discussing now, the secondary portion to it, is the physical vessel. You know what I mean? And having these beings around us, because when we're in the Western world, you're not going to be able to duck and avoid it. I'm going to emphasize that every day, every video, every piece of content. Like, we are not able to duck and avoid all of it. And your atmosphere, your environments do affect you, you know? So once we can understand these things, this is how we learn to work, to maneuver and to do things differently than how we was doing it before. So, like, and then with that also being a thing with you know, having your boundaries up and people feeling like, oh, you don't trust easy. It's like, it makes it easier for you to distinguish what is an attack and what is self-sabotage. You know what I mean? So like me falling off a bike, if I'm riding with my buddies and I fall off the bike, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't look and see the rock, or let's just say my feet went off the pedal because I was pedaling too fast and I fell. That's me, you know what I'm saying? But if my buddy throws a stick in the tires of my bike while I'm riding and the front tire stops, that is not self-sabotage. That is an attack. That is an attack. You know what I'm saying? So once you start understanding the differences between self-sabotage and attack, for me, it took a lot of diving in that space to understand, because it'd be so much witchy shit going on when we're in this space. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to risk my life running around out here gang banging and doing all this other stuff that I was doing, because even me doing this right here, this is more than the risk that I took doing all the other shit that I was doing, because I actually have to wear and bear more shit. You know what I'm saying? I had custody court for my daughter, and I only had to go through this because I have a disgusting ass demonic BM that I signed up for until she's 18. You know what I'm saying? So, and the only reason why I even had to go back through the process is because it was an attack. It didn't have anything to do with me being lesser of a father or being lesser of a man. No, it just had to do with one little disgusting piece of shit wanting their way and realizing, oh, this man is pretty solid. He is not bouncing back to me. I have been doing a lot of witchy stuff to him. I have been manipulating and gaslighting our daughter to go against him, to talk shit, to do all of these things. You know what I mean? It's a whole process. But for me, when I process my mom, that's a brown woman, she's the same color as me, who was extremely disgusting to me growing up. Then I have a BM who's of the other culture, you know, and she is extremely fucking disgusting. When I say extremely, I mean extremely, extremely, extremely. She's so disgusting, like, it was to the point to where the other team was like, look, we're gonna put this thing called epilepsy inside of you. So every time you get out of line, I'm gonna make your body do this little scramble thing, and you're gonna start doing this right here. So for me, for you to have to take pills every day from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep, and you still out here being disgusting to the core, you are supposed to rot in the most worst disgusting place ever. I never will fully comprehend beings who do things or are in these kind of spaces other than they're just fucking evil. They are just evil. And if they shut the system down, you best believe you will be taken out of here. All of y'all gonna be taken out of here, because it's gonna be a war. So it's gonna be beings also trying to take us out as well too. But the thing is like, that shit is not okay. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of evil beings out here, and this is one way to be able to distinguish an evil being. My BM has had epilepsy since she was 12, 13. You know what I mean? I took her in with the epilepsy, still decided to be there for and take care of it. Still was okay with having a baby. And the motherfucker did every disgusting thing you could possibly think of. Everything you could possibly think of. You know what I mean? And I ain't been in that space for about 2-3 years, but because she's so disgusting, I could not talk to her for 6-7 months and then end up with some paperwork telling me I gotta go to court. Because I don't involve or engage with this being. That's how disgusting it's no different than my shitty ass mom. With me going through this whole process I've been going through, because you see I've been kind of in and out of content because it's been a lot of stuff going on that I've been reorganizing, reworking on, and then these attacks that's been happening, I've been having to battle them, and I haven't had my highest best energy. You know, I've been pretty consistent, but it's a process. You know, I've been worked on my whole life. I went from a mom handler to the prison system handler to back out to my mom handling to me getting out of my house to, you know, I had about 3 years, and then that's when my BM. So I only had a small break before I had another gang stalking handler back in place. You know what I'm saying? And because I fully removed my mom, the opposition made sure they implanted my BM disgusting ass piece of shit in my damn life. You know what I'm saying? I also had a percentage of that too. I'm not saying that like, oh, she did it all by. I had a percentage of it too. I am very fucking aware of this, okay? Most of us are aware of this, but that has not anything to do with somebody continuously, blatantly attacking you or trying to use some manipulation shit to make it seem like you're an untrustworthy or unbelievable being. I'm gonna seem unbelievable to almost most beings in the Western world. You know why? Because I don't fuck with your ideology or belief system. I don't fuck with your ideology or belief system. You know what I mean? So the same way I had to go to court and the judge was fucking a white woman, my BM lawyer was a white woman, my BM is fucking white, and the guardian ad litem is a brown fucking female. I'm in the courtroom with all women, and I'm a brown male, which we already know how the stereotypes go, so it didn't matter how solid I was being. Their goal was still to make me seem and feel unbelievable. And that is, I just used that as a recent example, because a lot of us deal with regular real life people in real lifetime. But then some of us also have those situations as well, to where you have to go to the doctor's office and deal with the system, and they're doing all that witchy shit that they do. You might have to go to the dentist's office and they're doing all that witchy shit they do. You may have to go to the courts and you know damn well they gonna do all the witchy shit they can possibly do. You know what I mean? So when people are talking about trust and boundaries and all this shit, you have to see what's up with theirs and what playbook they on. Because a lot of these demons, they'll tell you they got boundaries, but really they don't. They got control tactics. They got control tactics. It's a boundary. Hey, don't do this, or I'm gonna do that. And it'll be something witchy. It's not even something healthy that is, don't do this and you know, you're gonna get compensated, or this is gonna be the outcome for something of that. You know what I mean? So it's just being aware of these things, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of us was beaten and belittled from a young age, you know what I'm saying? And we still out here fighting this battle every day consistently, you know what I'm saying? So, but I didn't want to run it up too long, you know what I mean? Tapping everything down below. Peace and love.